DigiCore Holdings has swung from a full-year loss of 59 million rand to a profit of 7.8 million rand. I'm joined now by company CEO Nick Vlok for more on the numbers. Nick, an impressive turnaround. Let's talk about what exactly you did to get this right.
I think, Nosy, thank you for the opportunity. We've been through a year now of consolidating and restructuring our business. I think everybody is aware that the previous 2 years we did not do too well. But fortunately, we've had the opportunity now to, and in terms of the economy in Europe, where we are playing as well, has turned around. So I think we were fortunate enough to get through it. We've written off a lot of bad debt. Yeah. We had a clean-up period over the last 12 months, and fortunately, the market treated us well in terms of orders that came through. So profitability, if we look at our normalized profit, it was quite good this year. So yes, we're quite happy with what we achieved.
Profit up, earnings per share up as well. But maybe let's talk about this cleaning up operation that you have implemented. It puts you now in a position where you can almost start from a clean slate. With that in mind, what are your plans? What can we expect?
100%. I think part of the consolidation was closing some of our non-profit operations like Belgium and a few others. That now creates an opportunity for us to appoint new distributors. The whole African market is busy opening up for us. We've done a nice deal with a huge company that will hopefully take us into 28 countries into Africa in the very near future. Australia has been doing well, so that is still a market that is growing for us. We've closed our Malaysian office and appointed new distributors that will be operating in various countries in that part of the world. Also, I think our software and our products have been taken been accepted well in that part of the world. Yeah. Clients like TNT and Tyco being some of them. So there are the great opportunities. Expansion is obviously part of our plan now that we've consolidated. We would be looking at growing our business on all 6 continents eventually.
Well, it certainly sounds that your expansion plans, especially for the African continent, are quite impressive. You're planning to be in 28 countries. You're currently in 18. Talk us through your plan for the additional 10 countries. Which markets are you looking at, and what are your timeframes?
Okay, there are various countries. As I said, the 18 we are in currently. The deal we've done is basically with MTN International that we're hoping to take us through the rest of Africa, so we will be doing it on the back of the networks in whichever countries they are operating. I think a further opportunity is our fare collection or electronic fare collection system as well. We currently are busy with operations in Kenya. So that would be another point of expansion for us.
Let's talk about that partnership with MTN and whether it exposes you in terms of vulnerability to their strategy. We've seen some recent developments with them having some of their fingers burnt, in particular I think it was Iraq, around regulatory issues around there. Is that something that's top of mind for you as you watch the regulatory environment of the countries where a key partner of yours goes into, and what this means then for your operations going forward?
No, it's not top of our minds at the moment. I think we're only starting to get into playing with them at the moment. So I think only time will tell as we go forward. Our experience with them in the past, places such as Nigeria, were actually pretty good. We've got a pretty good relationship with them in South Africa. So I don't foresee at the moment any issues going forward with the partner.
Nick, you had also mentioned the electronic fare collection, and if we look at the South African environment, we've seen very poor traction in terms of its take-up for this particular service or product. What are your prospects? Do you see this changing, and if that is, what is it that's going to change it?
I think so. Maybe in the past we might have been talking to the regions, which might have been the wrong people. We now have a letter of intent, or been selected by Santaku rather as one of their partners going forward. So we're in the process of with them trying to put the deal together, and hopefully, and we've done some proof of concepts with the guys. I think it's purely a partnership, and the funding that is still outstanding at this point. We actually we were hoping that they would have launched it, because that is really the only way that they could go back to government in terms of getting subsidies for the taxi commuters.
Right. And where are you looking for the funding?
I'm not at liberty to say that at the moment, because that would give away the rest of the partnership.
That would give away the rest of the partnership, but it would make for a great interview. But maybe...
No, it would be, but it's one of our big financial institutions, so
All right, and just a very final one. Of course, we spoke a lot about Africa, but you also have a good presence in Asia Pacific, although you did close the Malaysia office, and a big exposure in Europe. Just a quick soundbite in terms of your plans for that part of the world.
I think the European side, again, as I said, we've consolidated. We're now in our expansion program. I think we were fortunate the last few months with the economy turning in the European Union, and a lot of tenders started to coming through again. We were fortunate to win some of the tenders with some councils in the UK. That will bode well for us going forward this year.
Nick, congratulations on a strong comeback. That was the CEO of DigiCore, Nick Vlok.